First things first, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Aurora Greenman. I got to talk to Coach Papish a couple nights ago, and I was talking to him about how you fell into his lap. Uh,
Yeah.
you're going to the Naval Academy. You're in a state placer in Ohio, and you moved. It's like they've had guys move in there.
Yeah.
Who moved? You moved because why did you guys move from Lima?
So Lima. So we wanted a better opportunity. Like Aurora is a much better school district, and just getting out of Lima to a better place. Like my dad has a better job.
Okay, so you moved because your dad's job.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was telling Coach Papish, I said, there's two things in Lima. I think there's a tank factory and a BP plant.
Yeah.
That's about it, right? There's not a whole bunch of other stuff going on, is there?
No, not really. There's not much over there.
Yeah, and I'm from Northwest Ohio. I'm from the Oak Harbor area, but Oak
Yeah.
Harbor is on the lake.
Hmm.
They got the Lake Erie Islands. They're not far from
Yeah.
Cedar Point, so it's 4 months out of the year. It's not bad there.
Yeah.
There's not a lot going on 12 months out of the year in Lima, Ohio.
No, there's nothing there.
There's not much going on, but and it's kind of like it's flat. There's just not a lot to do.
No, not really. You had to drive like 45 minutes if you want to go anywhere. Like Fort Wayne was the closest city.
Fort Wayne's the closest city to Lima. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's 45 minutes to Fort Wayne. Like hour and a half to Dayton and Toledo.
And how far to Columbus? Two?
Too.
Jeez, oh Pete's, man. Wow. So kind of a no brainer for you guys to make that jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you look at it, you were a state placer last year. I actually did the fifth place match in Division Two last year. There's
Yeah.
9 placing matches going on, and we do all 9 of them. And
Hmm.
I took fifth as a senior, so I'm
Yeah.
normally like, you know what, man, I'll do the fifth place matches. Because everybody wants to do the third place match in Division One. Everybody wants to do the third place match in Division Two because that's usually
Yeah.
where the better guys, the guys who maybe don't win a state title or make it. That's usually where
Hmm.
they're going. So you got sixth last year, right?
Yep.
Who'd you wrestle? The Streetsboro guy?
Yeah. Carrie.
Yeah. Did he hit you with something crazy last year? I can't remember. You were wearing a Barbarian Apparel singlet. I know that.
Yeah. Right off the whistle, he caught me sleeping. He went up like 4 points, like right off the whistle, and then I think the final score was like 5-2 or something.
Yeah, and when you wrestle those are 5 minute matches.
Yeah.
So if you get the first takedown on you, it's really hard to manage the
Yeah.
match and come back.
Yeah. I ended the first period 4-0. Huge hole.
Yeah, and he's not bad.
No, he's pretty solid wrestler. He was actually at my sectional.
Okay. Um. Okay. So this year, how did you end up? You guys had a. You didn't have. I think Lake Catholic had a really good district tournament. They kind of surprised everybody in their district, didn't they? You guys
Yeah.
had a really good district tournament, but you left some guys home that you probably thought you were going to get to Columbus, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We were expecting at least 7 out. We wanted 9, and then we ended up getting 7 out.
Yeah, and then were there 6 finalists?
Yes.
5 champs, 5 sophomore champs, right?
4.
Four.
One was Dave was the senior.
Okay. So, and then were you runner up,
Yep.
and then you actually beat the guy the week before, didn't you, Lehman?
Yeah, I beat him 13-2, and then I didn't perform. No excuses. Didn't just end up losing 3-2 in the finals.
Oh, he beat you 3-2 after you beat him 13-2 in a week. Wrestling's a crazy sport, isn't it, Ethan?
It is.
It's a really crazy sport. Um, when you look at, you guys had a lot of momentum going into the tournament. First things first, where were you guys when you found out that the postponement to start? Where were you in that? When you found that out?
And then everyone, it was about 7th period, and I got a text message from my dad, like, "Hey, they just postponed basketball. Wrestling's probably next."
Jeez, oh Pete.
And yeah,
Did you just know then?
well, leading up to the week when they can't, I was a little worried, but I still felt pretty confident they're gonna have it. Up until the point where they postponed the NBA season, the night before they postponed the state tournament, I started feeling really uneasy about it.
Yeah, and then, when they do the NBA, man, they
Yeah,
do the
like
NBA, it's like and then they postpone the major league, and it's just like,
yeah,
the dominoes have, kept falling, and it's kinda wild, you know what I mean? And, like, a guy like you, you're going to the Naval Academy, you're probably
yeah,
one of the top guys in your class. I mean, you're smarter than the average kid, let's just put it that way.
yeah,
Would you say that that's something accurate?
yeah.
Yeah, so you knew, and then obviously last week you got the cancellation notice just under a week ago. What's the first thing Pappas said to you, the coaching staff at Aurora? What'd they say to you, Ethan?
Well, they wrote us all passes and got us all out of class, and we all went up to the wrestling room to talk about it. I mean, there wasn't. He's like they canceled the tournament. I mean, it's gonna hurt. There's just not much we can say else. I can say I can't believe it.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can really say in that moment make it feel much better.
And you guys had so much momentum going to the state tournament. You got a bunch of sophomores who won. What side of the bracket were you on in your half bracket? Who was in your half bracket?
I would have had Daniels in the quarters and then Leonard in the semis, probably Leonard or Talbert.
You had a really tough half bracket.
Yeah.
And then I already talked to Ethan Hernandez. He's the guy that he's going to Penn.
Yeah.
He was in the top half of the bracket then, right?
Yeah. It was Hernandez and Lehman on the top half.
Okay. So, man, Hernandez is slick too, man. If you haven't seen him, he's really tough.
I've wrestled him since I was in like 6th grade, actually.
Oh, really? All the OAC stuff, probably.
What?
OAC things, OAC tournaments.
No, just like because he's from Norwalk, we would hit at open tournaments. Like I didn't get really into wrestling until about 8th grade, but my brother always wrestled, so I would go do open tournaments after basketball season.
Wait, you played? Wait, stop. You played basketball?
Yeah, I played basketball until 7th grade.
So you're like fresh. You're like you haven't been doing this forever.
No, I started wrestling as a main sport in 8th grade.
Oh my god! And you were on track to be a 2-time state placer in Ohio. That's not bad, Ethan. That's not bad at all. When you look at so Aurora, you guys, how did you do at? You went to Shawnee, right, over by Lima. How did you do there?
I had a pretty good sophomore season up until the end. Like I beat a couple state qualifiers like throughout the season, and then come to the district tournament. I was a little sick and didn't end up placing in the districts my sophomore year.
So you didn't qualify as a sophomore? No qualification as a sophomore. Okay. So and you'd only been wrestling 2 years at that point.
Yeah.
How'd you do as a freshman? You broke up. How'd you do as a freshman?
Not good. I didn't make out of districts.
Didn't
make out sectionals.
Did you have a winning record?
Yes, I was 18-14.
You were 18-14 as a freshman. And then what was your record as a sophomore?
44-7.
44-7, and then junior year last year when you took 6th in the state, what were you?
Like 42-15. We did a pretty easy schedule my freshman sophomore year compared to.
Oh yeah, this schedule. This guy's a maniac over here. He takes you guys to Ironman. He takes you guys to the Brecksville. He takes you to the GIT, and then there's your league with Brecksville and Wadsworth in it, and Highland. Yeah, he's a maniac. I was like, dude, you guys don't avoid anyone.
No, we all about getting as many quality matches as you can before state.
What is that like changing from the Shawnee schedule to the Aurora schedule?
I actually love it, because it forces you to stay sharp. If you wrestle too easy of a schedule where you're pinning kids week in, week out, like it's kind of what happened my sophomore year. I was going on like 20 match wins. I was having like 20 matches where I pinned the kid before I was getting wrestling good competition. So it leads you to be sloppy. Where you go Ironman, Brecksville, Top Gun, right to the GIT, you gotta stay sharp.
Yeah, I mean, there's just nowhere to hide in your schedule.
No, I think losing in wrestling is the best thing that can happen to you too.
Why?
It focuses you, humbles you.
Focuses and humbles you, huh? You're going into a really unique situation that only hundreds of people that are gonna do what you're gonna do, man. You're gonna be the cream of the crop. You're going to the United States Naval Academy. This is a big deal. You know what I mean? I understand the
Yeah.
gravity of just getting in is such a hard thing.
Yeah.
And they say that, right? Like, getting into the Ivies is the hard thing, right? And then once you
Right.
get there, you're already in there, and you get into a routine and you're fine.
Yeah.
You have the most grueling 4 years of your life coming up, and then you got to give 5 years of service.
Yeah.
Talk to me about preparing for that. What are you going to do for 4 years? You have to take a core. You have to take all the cores. Do you know that? You cannot take, like, there's not a semester you take off. Or like,
Yeah.
I went to
Yeah.
Kent State and I never took a math class. They let me
Okay.
substitute
Yeah.
a foreign language for a math. You will not be able to do that. There's nowhere to hide at the Naval Academy. If you
No,
miss a
yeah.
class, only way you can miss a class is if you're sick, dead, or someone in your family's dead. Did you know that?
Yeah. Yep.
You're at every class.
Yeah. I kind of like the discipline. It doesn't let you don't get the option to slack.
None. There's no option.
Yeah.
That's
Keep
crazy.
busy.
Why is that the choice in the route you took?
Well, ever since I was little, I always thought I was going to go to West Point. I ended up being Navy instead. But I just my grandpa was a major in the Army, and I've always been interested in military service. And I when I got there, I just really liked the culture. Like, I enjoyed being on my official. I really enjoyed the culture there.
Okay. The culture obviously is a huge part of it, but you were recruited by Joel Sherritt. Now
Yeah.
it's a very different. It's going to be a completely different staff. And Kerry Colat's coming in. He's going to have Mike Evans,
Yeah.
Blake Cabell. I need more cowbell. Beautiful mustache. That's why I grew this mustache, because of him. But it's gonna be different. Have those guys reached out to you yet? And what's the situation moving forward with you at Navy, Ethan?
So me and Koa exchanged phone numbers. That's been we haven't talked much more outside of that. But they kept the coach on who did most of the recruiting stuff.
Who was it?
Like, he came out, and he's the one that handled most of my recruiting.
Who is it? I missed it. You cut out. Who is it?
Dan Neff.
Oh, Dan Neff from Lockhaven.
Yes.
Okay, so Dan Neff, and we don't know if they're going to keep him on or what, or is he?
They're keeping him on.
They're going to keep Dan Neff on. Dan Neff's a stud.
Yep.
Dan Neff,
I think,
knows how to win.
Yeah. I think he is teaching a class there. Like, I think they got a way for him to teach a class.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's a nice. That bridges the gap for them, and it probably makes you feel a little more comfortable that you're at least going in with the guy who recruited you, right?
Yeah, it's nice that, because he's going to be the wrestlers, like, CEOs at Plebe Summer.
Okay. So when do you take off? When do you leave? Because this is like a whole. I know. Okay, what was the original time you were supposed to take off, Ethan? And have they given you a new time you were supposed to take off?
Well, June 25th is still this has been and still is the start date. I haven't heard them change that yet.
Okay.
Which, when Navy starts it, like, you start school right away. Like, you're not there early just to wrestle. Like, for all incoming freshmen, you start Plebe Summer right away.
Okay. So you're not going to get
6 weeks and everything.
You're not going to get much of a summer. This is like, we're in strange times. You know that, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that? Just going right into it.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to roll.
What's your favorite thing about?
Practicing.
What's your favorite thing about all the discipline and all the regiment and everything about it?
I've always been very orderly, like keeping to a schedule. It helps simplify things for me. Just a good way. It's the way I like to run my life. Like I hate times like this where I have just hours of free time on my hands. It's hard to get anything done when there's just this much free time.
What are you doing? What are the workouts now? Because I know that you're a wrestler. You're a guy going to Naval Academy. What are the three? What are the things that you're doing on a daily basis? What is the regiment right now with all this?
My dad's big into lifting, so we have a weight room in our basement. So I've still been keeping up with lifting, and luckily I have my brother who's a pretty good wrestler too. He's a little bigger than me, but we can still go downstairs and there's a wrestling mat down there at the scrap.
Okay. Is your brother, did he win the district too?
Yeah.
So your brother's one of the 4 sophomore champs at Aurora.
Yeah.
Man, they got a monster squad back. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna be real tough next year.
They got 6 of you guys back, right? There's 6 of those guys back, right? You and David aren't back. You and David are not back.
Yep. Me and David are gone.
And then everybody else is back.
Yes.
Wow. That's a really good team. Wow. I mean, what are your thoughts about not getting to wrestle your last state tournament? You know, you talked about the emotions of when you found out, but how do you feel about not being able to go out with one more shot?
I mean, it's tough. Like, it hurts to think about it. I think it was the right thing to do, knowing what we know about the virus. But it's hard. Like, I really was looking forward to getting one more go at it in the Greenman singlet.
A barbarian apparel a barbarian apparel Greenman. You guys got a really cool one with the Greenman head all over the back of it. That thing's sweet.
Yeah, I wear that. That one was I like that single a lot, and then I had an Adidas single that pretty much no one else had that I liked a lot.
Yeah, Aurora hooks it up, man. I mean, I'm really glad you guys were able to move over from Lima to Aurora, and it's a different world, isn't it? It's like different. It's totally different, isn't it?
Yeah, very different.
It's just and like you and I get it because we moved from Northwest Ohio to here, but like until you come over and like kind of experience it, it's hard to explain, right?
Yeah.
You know, like where I'm from, where my mom and dad live, you can see for miles down the road. It's so flat, you can just see for miles.
Oh yeah, you get all those backcountry roads. It's just cornfields.
Yeah, it's all it is, man. And then here, I can't see 100 yards that way, and I can't see 100 yards in any direction off in the horizon. We got beautiful rolling hills and trees everywhere, and they just don't have that there.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest thing that you're gonna take out of this, Ethan, is, you know, like you're going in to be an officer. You know, what's the track you want to follow? You have the option to be a Marine or join the Navy. You can be a Marine or join the Navy. If you know the Blair coach, Coach Brian Antonelli, he was a coach at Naval Academy and a Naval Academy grad. He went into the Marines. Mm-hmm. What do you do after the Naval Academy? After Naval Academy, you got 5 years. You can pick Marines. You can pick Navy. What do you pick? Yeah. What do you do?
What I want to do is be a Navy pilot. I want to fly F-35s and F-18s after school in the Navy.
You're going to know a lot more stuff. You're going to have the amount of clearance that you're going to have, security clearance, is going to be pretty high. You do understand that, right?
Yeah.
You're going to know more about situations like this right now than Joe Public is ever going to know. Is that something you're prepared for and excited for?
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Cool to know what's really going on.
And then your grandpa was a major in the Army, right?
Yeah.
What types of things did they do and your parents do? How did they inspire you to want to go to West Point and then ultimately you end up at Annapolis?
Well, I'd always... He said he always talks about how he really enjoyed like his experience in the Army. Like he was an officer like, right after Vietnam, I think, when he got his commission. And then my dad always talked highly of military service, and I also enjoy history a lot, and the history of those, both the West Point and Annapolis, are great history.
Can we really afford for those places not to be the best places, not to be the best institutions on the planet? I want you to think about it. Can we afford that as a country? I want you to think about that.
Yeah.
We can't. No, we have to have people like you going there. We have to have the future leaders going there. It's a no-brainer, man. You know what I mean? Like, got to have the best and the brightest there. It is who leads our military and what makes America what America is on the global stage.
Yeah.
Our military. And if you look at our Navy, you can take all the navies in the world and combine them, and it doesn't equal our Navy. You know that?
Oh, no. We have like 3 times the amount of aircraft carriers.
The world. From the world. Yeah. You take the world and combine them, and we still have over double what they have.
Yeah, it's like America's Navy is the second biggest air force in the world.
I love it, man. What do you do with wrestling? Do you try and wrestle? You know, we talked about WCAP, World Class Athlete Program. You can move to the Springs.
Yeah.
When you're done with wrestling after 4 years at Naval Academy, are you done with wrestling?
Yeah. I'm done. After my 4 years of college, I think I'm done competitively. Like I really want to being like an actual officer is something I'm looking forward to. Like that was a big sale of it. Like I want to do the career path. So like if my kids get into it or something, I of course coach them. Like I'm older,
Yeah.
but competitively, I'd say college is probably it.
Did you know that your 4 years at West Point do not count in that 20 years of retirement? Did you know that?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I said West Point. I meant Annapolis. Those
Yeah.
4 years do not go into that 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We had a kid from Oak Harbor, Alex Bergman. Alex Bergman's a Naval Academy grad. His dad's the head coach at Oak Harbor High School. And, he's obviously, I think he's 3 years in to his 5 years. Because it's a 5-year commitment after 4, right?
7.
It's a 7-year commitment after 4. So it's an 11-year commitment total for the whole thing, right?
Yeah. You said, yeah, the first 2 years you can